he needs to find a way to get 30, 40 games before the World Cup and in a rhythm. I don't care if that's in Major League Soccer or if it's in Europe. If he wants to make a World Cup team and have them be successful, because I thought he did really well in 2022, but he was sharp in 2022. Right now, we're not seeing it.
Well, on June 12th next year, right here in this state of the United States, will kick off its 2026 World Cup campaign. But who will start in goal is one of the major questions. We don't know the answer. Maybe Tony Meola does. That's why we brought him in. Before we get to 2026, let's talk about well, first of all, the fact that we know that Matt Turner starts in goal. I want to get your thoughts on that in just a second. But if we can just spin back to the semi-final that we saw together. I know we analyzed the goal with you at the time, but we'd just like to do it again because you weren't comfortable with Matt Turner's positioning. Yeah,
there was certainly some questions about this goal, and as we take a look here, we'll see. The more I look at it here, Matt Turner, it wasn't as much about the positioning as it was about the bounce that we'll see in the end here. So this is the start of the play. Coco Carrasquilla, Tim Ream peeling off here, and Waterman receives this pass here, and he has a clear look, oddly, from this position at Matt Turner.
What is Tim Ream doing here, Tony?
Yeah, Tim Ream peels off here earlier in the play, and I'm not quite sure. So now you got to deal with it. So when you take this is the look for Waterman here, and we drew a line here. Matt Turner's got about 8 feet to go. I think the better positioning is a half a step out, which cuts down that angle. Okay, now, when you look at, when we rewind this here, I said it's not so much about the angle, but the hop before the shot here. As he comes off his feet, look, the shot's about to come off the foot, and he's in the air right now, and you'll get a look at the end here by virtue of this line. He actually goes past the line of the ball, but he's late. So for me, it's not so much about the angle, but it's more about that little hop in the end.
Do you feel like his lack of match readiness is visible in that play?
Well, the sharpness, when you talk about that, is this rhythm right here. So generally, as a goalkeeper, just before he's about to strike, your feet are now hitting the ground. And this, in the end, of course, we talk about it in full speed. We can look at it in slow motion, but these are the moments, as you guys know, that win you and lose you games. And if you start to translate this to what this means in a World Cup, it could be one play that knocks you out of a competition.
And Tony, I'm curious, right? Given all that, given the fact that Matt Turner's not playing on a regular basis, and there's 2 other goalkeepers in camp, obviously Zach Steffen's ill, so he's not on the roster tonight. Are you surprised that he's getting the start again?
I am, and I told you this the other night. You guys asked me at the desk what I thought should happen in the third place game, and I said I thought Pochettino should make a change. Now, that would be 6 changes in this match. Maybe it's too much. I had a sense that Zach Steffen was going to get an opportunity. It looked like it was leaning that way. Of course, now he's not feeling well, right? So I don't know if that means he didn't want to put Patrick Schulte in, but me personally, I would have liked to have seen a change in goal. And by the way, regardless of this goal, the fact that we're in a third place game, Kate, I would have liked to have seen a change in goal just for that, because what if something happens, right? This is an opportunity for one of these guys maybe to shine.
Absolutely.
And we don't get a chance to look at him.
Tony, I thought that was a phenomenal breakdown because no one's talking about his feet in the air before that shot. But I want to add, before the game, I was watching warm-ups, and the goalkeeper coach was banging him in the corner, and he was slow to get there. And I thought to myself, oh, that stuck out to me because I remember as a young player, you're watching the keeper. How does he move? Which foot does he like to play with? And I thought, okay, maybe this is a weak spot. Maybe it's just warm-ups. He's not giving it all. And that's exactly what happened. Is that something that's easily fixable? Is that coachable?
Yeah, Charlie, it's rhythm. And again, I said at the desk after the game, when you're doing it in training, and you guys know, if you're taking 5, 6, 7 shots, you're getting mulligans, right? You're getting an opportunity to do it all over again, right? You know, you guys know better than me. You get one chance as a forward, maybe. As a goalkeeper, you get one chance. There are no mulligans. You either got to make a play or you don't. And in this instance, Matt Turner didn't make a play. But when I went down and broke it down again, it wasn't so much because I kept hearing about the positioning. The positioning, as much as it was about that little hop, for me, that's the rhythm part. That's the part that you lose if you're not seeing it. You got to get it right one time, and it didn't work out for him.
What about the telegraph part? You know, it's like, I'm going here. You know I'm going here. It's
hard to cheat, Charlie. I've been there in a World Cup, right? I did it, and it didn't work out for me.
We know who the 3 are that are available in this window, right? But there is a wider number of goalkeepers who we could be looking at. We're just going to show you this graphic here, which just kind of lists the longer list, if you will, of other players that could be called up into camp. You can't help but look at the club minutes with Matt Turner. It just sticks out, doesn't it? Are there guys on this list who you would rather have in a squad for a World Cup, for a Gold Cup, etc.?
I don't know if rather for this is the word that I would use, but there are other guys that maybe over the years get some opportunities. I remember a year ago we had this conversation. I thought Gaga Slonina would be here. Now, he's been injured with a finger injury for quite some time here. Kochin is another kid that everyone wants to see, but he's not playing at the first team level, so it's hard to bring him into your national team in a competition like this.
No, the answer is no.
I think we're going to live and die with these three goalkeepers. Our hope, just like it is with a center forward, is that we find somebody that's in rhythm and it's hot.
Go ahead, Clint.
Sorry, is it crazy to think, if you look in recent times, we're struggling to find that number one now, but if you look in recent times, we've always had at least two. You look at 06, you had Brad Friedel, Kasey Keller. You look at 2010, you had Tim Howard and Brad Guzan. 2014, Tim Howard, Brad Guzan. I mean, you had top keepers playing for both club and country, and that could come in and make big saves, and we can't even find one.
You even have a third, Nick Raimondo. You literally had a list of keepers that you'd all feel comfortable between the pipes. Now, you look at that list, there's not one that you say, this guy is the future, or this guy, he deserves that chance. They're all around the same level.
So if you have to pick your number one right now for the 2026 World Cup, who do you pick?
Well, it's Matt Turner right now, right? He's got the experience. When I look at those numbers, they're scary. There's a lot of guys there
think he's in form, so why would
with zero caps, right? But you're asking me to project out, right? And what I think is going to happen in 2026. This is a guy that I think is going to make a move, that absolutely has to make a move. If he doesn't, you and I will be having a different conversation right down the road. But I'm going to guess sometime in May or June that he's going to be in a position, and I don't really care as the goalkeeper right now. He needs to find a way to get 30, 40 games before the World Cup and in a rhythm. I don't care if that's in Major League Soccer or if it's in Europe. If he wants to make a World Cup team and have them be successful, because I thought he did really well in 2022, but he was sharp in 2022. Right now, we're not seeing. To your point a little bit earlier, and yours as well, there's a couple things I look at as a goalkeeper. Shot stopping is number one. The second biggest quality is presence in the goal. You showed me Kasey Keller, Brad Friedel, Tim Howard. Those guys had presence.
Don't leave yourself out.
Look at him
forget
being
it.
humble.
But
Look at him.
You guys look back and you expected saves to be made, right? And that's where we need to get back to.
Good stuff. That was rousing, Tony. I like it. Thank you so much.
Go get the pep talk.
Let's go. You're going to call the game for us today, so we're looking forward to hearing your voice doing that.